Nice to see ya. We're going to have our main event getting off the ground in just a minute. Why don't we have a little recap, shall we?
Tonight, the main event, there's a special referee, and I'll give you one guess. HBK himself, the Hart Attack.
It was that announcement earlier tonight that brought an entirely new level of instability and intrigue to our tag team main event. The vicious rivalry between Shawn Michaels and The Rock here in JWF has been well documented. These two competitors have been involved in several matches in the past, each one more vicious than the last, with the JWF Intercontinental Championship at the center of it all. Ever since the World Heavyweight Championship was vacated by Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Intercontinental title has been the #1 prize in our industry, and these two men have fought tooth and nail to hold it. Not only do the Heartbreak Kid and The Rock despise each other, but Michaels also has a history with the other three competitors in tonight's main event. There's definitely no love lost between Shawn Michaels and any of these athletes, but we have to wonder, as referee in tonight's main event, will Michaels be a figure of authority? Or did the Heartbreak Kid throw himself into the lion's den with a bunch of competitors who each have reasons to dislike him? We find out next.
Coming this summer and every season, because it's a show, the continuing saga of Random Marvel. Follow Doctor Doom and the Pentagram Syndicate as they wreak havoc on the Marvel Universe using the hard drive hacking system. Or bro up with Nick Fury and the gang in the parallel series S.H.I.E.L.D. Top Secret Case Files as they attempt to enforce Fury's policy that no one hacks his shit. From Coulter Reel and Asylum Annex, batteries not included.
And there you see Shawn Michaels in the ring, ready to referee this match. And here we go. We're kicking things off with Bret the Hitman Hart. Folks, for those keeping track, Bret the Hitman Hart has had a rough couple of months. Ever since that amazing match that he had with Kurt Angle, he's been getting attacked left and right by Stone Cold Steve Austin for seemingly no reason. Those attacks were often unprovoked, and they culminated tonight with a vicious assault in the parking lot. I wonder if Bret Hart is going to offer any kind of retribution for what Steve Austin did to him here tonight. But for now, he's got to focus on tonight's main event. We now await the arrival of Bret the Hitman Hart's tag team partner, Chris Jericho, one of the great athletes in our industry right now, possibly of questionable moral standing as far as winning matches is concerned, but you can't deny his athleticism, folks. Even though they're tag team partners here tonight, Jericho and the Hitman have had their wars in the past. One bout in particular that comes to mind is when Stone Cold Steve Austin interfered, once again costing Bret Hart the match against Chris Jericho, who obviously has no problem when somebody else gives him the upper hand. I'm not sure how well these two men are going to get along here tonight, but one thing I am sure of is that neither one of them can afford to let their guard down against this team. The Rock, a former JWF Intercontinental Champion, and he does not look pleased with Shawn Michaels being the referee. Earlier tonight, as soon as The Rock found out what was going on, he had this to say.
The Rock suggests you better call that match tonight right down the middle. And if not, then it's going to be between you and The Rock.
Obviously going to be some tension here tonight between The Rock and Shawn Michaels. However, Rock's got to keep his focus on Jericho and Hart. And a sudden chill just took over this arena, ladies and gentlemen. The thunder is cracking and the bells are tolling, folks. That can only mark the arrival of one man. Folks, the atmosphere in this building right now is unbelievable. The Undertaker is a presence that has to be seen to be believed, ladies and gentlemen. All of the men in this ring right now are in absolute awe of The Undertaker. Folks, love him or hate him, there is absolutely nobody like him in any sport. Although I have to wonder what that promo was we saw earlier. It looked like it left The Undertaker in a bit of an uneasy state, which is not something that's very common for him to be in. And the lights slowly come back on. This match, almost ready to begin. Referee Shawn Michaels has his hands full here tonight, folks. Let me tell you that. As far as I can tell, it's going to be Jericho starting things off against The Undertaker. Jericho making great use of his quickness and starts hammering him across the kidneys. Clothesline, but that didn't even take The Undertaker off his feet. Wow! Jericho just shoving The Undertaker. And referee Shawn Michaels is in there, possibly saving Jericho's life. And another huge clothesline, but Jericho can't get The Undertaker off his feet. And another shove. And The Undertaker retaliates. Jericho on the mat, and The Undertaker starts pummeling him. Undertaker now with a blatant choke. Shawn Michaels in to try and separate these two, and Undertaker, he's just not going to be intimidated by anyone, let alone Shawn Michaels. But Jericho takes Undertaker down with a quick drop kick to the knee, and there's the tag to Bret Hart. And Bret Hart now, like a shark smelling blood, goes right after the legs of The Undertaker. Jericho had the right idea, dropping The Undertaker's leg out from under him, and Bret Hart, relentless against that leg of The Undertaker, ties it up in a grapevine. Folks, Bret Hart is going to do everything he can to injure The Undertaker's legs and keep him off of his feet. And The Undertaker now grabs the ropes, and Shawn Michaels has begun his count as finally Bret Hart lets go at the count of 4. Obviously, Michaels is not pleased with the fact that Hart didn't listen to him, but the Hitman just kind of brushes him off and goes back up to that leg of The Undertaker. The assault continues, but wait, no, The Undertaker shoved Bret Hart to the mat. Bret Hart now, possibly out of desperation, begins hitting The Undertaker, sends him off the ropes, but The Undertaker with a reversal and a huge boot to the face of the Hitman. And there is the tag, and The Rock comes in swinging. Hitting Bret Hart, sends him off the ropes, straight into a back elbow. And what kind of a cover is that? As Bret Hart easily kicks out of that, and The Undertaker's probably wondering why The Rock even bothered. Oh, come on! The Rock with a punch sends Jericho off the apron to the mat. Michaels and The Rock now arguing, and that's just what Bret Hart needs to get a German suplex with a bridge, 2, and a kick out. I thought he had him, folks. Bret Hart begins methodically assaulting The Rock. There's a European uppercut, as now Bret Hart goes to send him into the corner, but The Rock with a reversal and a huge Samoan drop. Nobody does a Samoan drop like The Rock, folks, and now The Rock gets behind Bret Hart with a rear chin lock. This is meant to exhaust the Hitman. And now Bret Hart with a reversal into the armbar. Folks, I really do not think that The Rock is going to be able to out-wrestle Bret Hart on the mat. And apparently neither does The Undertaker, because here he is, and Shawn Michaels wants no part of any of that. He's trying to send The Undertaker back to the outside, but wait, look at this. Hart and Jericho with a huge double suplex to The Rock. And there's a cover. 2. No, The Rock kicks out after 2. Was that Jericho going to the other side of the ring? I don't know what he was. I'll wait just a minute now. Jericho pulls The Undertaker down to the floor. Shawn Michaels yelling at him now as Bret Hart goes back. Wait a minute, no! There's the Rock bottom, and The Rock with a cover. 1, 2, 5, 11. The point is, Shawn Michaels isn't looking. The Rock has words with Shawn Michaels. And folks, I hate to agree with The Rock on anything, but he had this match won. Wait a minute, wait. Is that? Yeah, that's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin is backstage, and he's hurt, folks. It looks like he was attacked. Austin's been attacking the Hitman for months. I wouldn't be surprised if Bret Hart took him out backstage as The Undertaker drops Chris Jericho to the outside. Folks, Shawn Michaels needs to get this match back in order. He's the worst ref I've ever seen. We'll be right back.